Mississippi and Alabama primaries are tonight. There's a new PPP poll which says we're in huge trouble, ladies and gentlemen. The country is in huge, huge trouble. Let me tell you about some of these numbers. And Lewis, I do warn you that these are disturbing.
Okay, I'm ready.
This is a poll based on all people planning to vote in the Republican primary, a majority of which are Republican. Okay, a majority, an overwhelming majority, 76% and up by my reading of this. In Alabama, when you asked Alabama Republican voters, Republican primary voters, is Barack Obama a Muslim? 45% believe that Barack Obama is a Muslim. In Mississippi, 52% believe that Barack Obama is a Muslim. Only 14% in Alabama and 12% in Mississippi believe that Barack Obama is a Christian. 41% aren't sure, Lewis, in Alabama. 41% of Alabama Republican voters aren't sure. They're not even willing to take the step and say he's a Muslim. They're just saying they don't know what religion the president is. And again, what's missing from this, as absurd as this is the question of, as Colin Powell said very astutely a couple of years ago now, I think it was, even if Obama were a Muslim, why would it matter, given separation of church and state? Oh, right. A lot of Christians don't want separation of church and state. Hell, Rick Santorum doesn't even think it's a firm separation between church and state.
Let me ask you this. When people who believe that Obama's a Muslim see, a video of Obama at Reverend Jeremiah Wright's church, do they think that Obama was some sort of double agent for the Muslim faith for some group in the Middle East? Or do they think that Jeremiah Wright is a Muslim?
Well, I think, Lewis, that we've seen for a while that there is a conspiracy theory that Barack Obama, 49 or however many years ago he was born, from the very get-go, it was all a conspiracy to eventually get him elected in 2008. It was a half-century conspiracy. If you believe something like that, believing that the religious component is part of that conspiracy isn't that much more of a stretch.
Right. Once you enter this realm of insanity, you really can't analyze anything.
No. It has an internal logic which you can't really pick apart from the outside.
Right. It's just there, and what you think is insane, and it makes no sense, and you just leave it at that.
Yeah. On evolution, by the way, in Alabama, 60% of Republican primary voters don't believe in evolution. In Mississippi, 66% don't believe in evolution. What is happening here? Interracial marriage, Lewis. Only 2/3 of Alabama Republican voters think interracial marriage should be legal. Only 2/3. 1 out of 3 people voting in the Alabama Republican primary either think interracial marriage should not be legal, or they're simply not sure. These are the same people who still think Saddam was responsible for 9/11. I mean, right? That's the venue that we're working under here.
I think so. I still have a hard time believing that the numbers in this poll are 100% accurate.
In what sense?
It just seems like too high a number of people who believe that Obama is Muslim or
Listen,
do not
Lewis.
believe in the evolution thing's a little more believable, but the Muslim thing, it just seems a little too high.
Yeah, but Lewis, if I were to say that this part of the country, say Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, Oklahoma, that these places are not in the U.S., it's another country, would you believe it then? Would you believe these statistics?
Yeah, like when we say, in Afghanistan, 90% think whatever, right? You believe it
It would
then.
be more believable in that case, yes.
Okay. So where are you going with that, Natan?
I'm just going with that. These are two separate countries in all but, official legal fact. I mean,
So
these
you're
are
saying for all
completely
intents and
different places.
purposes, these might as well be different countries.
That's what I'm saying.
This is further proof of the dangerous manipulative power of the radical conservative media in the country, combined with this kind of malleable constituency that is desperate, Lewis, as we see with the Tea Party, to have their worst fears validated, to then justify the way they're voting. They are really leaving themselves wide open to stereotypes.
Not to justify the way they're voting, to justify just about the
way they're thinking.
The way they're thinking, every social cause they take up, everything. It affects their whole lives.